Just gonna talk. Say hi, guys. Hello. How you doing? So, one of our YouTube friends, I can't remember your name right now, sorry. And I've got several questions on this. Hello, Elizabeth. Hi. I've got several questions about how we name our kids. So I figured why not do a live video and tell you guys how we name our children. And Steve named came up with two of the names, so it's only fitting for him to be here today.
5 out of 7.
5? We'll see. But okay, so I guess we'll start with our oldest. Our oldest name is Zephyr. I'll go on that one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so our oldest name is, by the way, all of our boys starts with the letter Z. 5 boys, all Z. And 2 girls with O's, okay? So with Zephyr, when I was living back in New York and I was working in New Jersey, and there is a guy named Ron English. He's actually a big artist, so you can Google him or you'll find his stuff and the type of artistry he does. Yeah, he's an artist, so I used to work at a photo lab. And I used to develop his pictures for him. That was actually one of my most funnest jobs. I used to develop his pictures, and I used to see his kids in the pictures sometime. And I asked him his kids, after a while they become, you talk to your customers, you know, when they come, because he used to almost be there a couple times a week to drop off his stuff, because he's an artist, so he takes pictures of his stuff and then he comes and pick them up to do whatever he does with them. But anyway, we used to talk to him, asking what his kids' name is, and he said that his son name was Zephyr and his daughter name was Mars. So right away I was like obsessed with the name Zephyr. I thought that was the coolest name ever. And I said to myself, I didn't say it to him, but I said to myself, if I ever have a son, I'm naming him Zephyr, and that's it. And that's what we did, right?
That's right.
Yeah, that's what we did. So there was no change in my mind. It was Zephyr, that's it. So that's how we came up with Zephyr, and he's the oldest. So now, Zohair, you want to talk about Zohair a little bit? How we came up with that?
Well, we just wanted, once we found out it was a boy, we just wanted another boy with a Z.
Mm-hmm.
So then we got in baby books and online and looked, and we didn't want your typical Z name, Zach, Zed, I don't know, whatever. Any of the Z. We wanted unique. And so we found Zohair, but it was spelled Zohar. We were afraid that people would say Zohar. So Zephyr is Zephyr, so we thought we'd spell Zohair, Zohayr. And so that makes you say hair, or so we think, or it works.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the same time that the movie Adam Sandler came out with, his Return of the Zohan or whatever. So
yeah, someone used to try to call him that, right?
Yeah,
Zohan or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's how we came up with Zohair. Yeah, like Steven said, we didn't want any typical name like Zach or Zane. We didn't want any of those names. We wanted unique names. And with Ophelia, I'll talk about Ophelia. With Ophelia, when I was going to school when I was little, and there was this girl in my class, and her name was Ophelia, and I wanted my name to be Ophelia. I think it was like 3rd or 4th grade, I'm thinking. I thought it was the coolest, best, prettiest name ever. I just love that name. And actually, this name Vanessa too. I just wanted my name to be changed to Ophelia or Vanessa. Probably not now. Probably still Ophelia, but not Vanessa. And because Zephyr, right, when he was still in utero, we thought he was a girl.
Well, that's the doctor thought if he had to suggest, he would say girl.
Yeah.
So for up till 30 6
6
weeks, we
weeks.
were calling Zephyr a girl and Ophelia in Kameka's belly.
Yeah, and stuff. So that's
And it wasn't until these older women would come up to Kameka and say, "Little boy?" We're like, "No, girl."
yeah,
We're like,
yeah. And then at the 37 weeks, we asked our doctor again, like, can you check and make sure it's a boy or a girl or whatever like that? Because for the longest, we thought it was a girl. Because when he did it at the 20-week ultrasound, he wasn't quite sure. And he said if I was to take a guess, you would say a girl. And we just kind of ran with that, you know. And then turns out it was a boy. But anyway, so that's how we came up with Ophelia, because I love the name. There was this girl in my 3rd or 4th grade class with the name, and I just loved it. So now with Zay and Zale, I'll let you talk about that.
well, we knew we were pregnant. We went to the doctor, did our ultrasound. Yeah, you're pregnant.
Yeah.
And then, but when we did the pregnancy, first, 10-week, 11-week ultrasound, and when she signed on Kameka's belly, Kameka and I saw 2 eggs, fetuses, whatever they were, in her belly. But the lady said, "No, it's just one. See, I just had it turned."
Yeah.
And so then she put it on there, but they were right next to each other, so you couldn't see it.
Yeah.
It looked like one. And so then as Kameka progressed, she got bigger and bigger. And at 14 weeks, she looked like she was 30 weeks. And so we went then in, and Kameka asked her, why am I so big? And she kind of blew her off until she measured her belly, and at 18 weeks, she was measuring 24 weeks.
Yeah, like 6 weeks ahead.
And so then she's like, "Oh, we're going to get you an ultrasound today or this week or something." And so we went and did the ultrasound, and that's when they discovered we were having twins, and they were unique twins, being in the same sac and one placenta. So we, again, found out gender then, that they were 2 boys.
Yeah.
And wanted some more Z names, but really didn't have any. And so we've
actually worked hard for those names.
Yeah,
right?
we pondered a long time and thought about it and shot ideas around, and we were kicking around the Ziggy and I threw out Zeppelin and
Zeppelin.
Some others. And then one day I was driving around, and I have in my family there's 8 kids, 5 boys, 3 girls, and my older brothers, 2 of them are Shay and Shell. And so driving thought, Shay and Shell, what about Zay and Zale? And then I came home and asked Kameka, "What do you think about Zay and Zale?" And she says, I love them.
I love them. Like, love.
And so then we just had to figure out how we wanted to spell them. And so my brother's name that's Shell is Shale. So we just did Zhale for Zale. And then Zay's where we kind of butted heads, because I wanted to spell Shay, like Shay, which is Shea. And so I wanted to do Zhea or something.
Yeah, that was like...
And Kameka wanted to do Zay. And so we settled on Zay.
Of course. Have to win. Of course. And then we settled on the Zay.
And then we thought that was it. No more kids.
Oh, yeah, we thought that was it.
Until, twins were about 6 months, and Kameka said that wasn't it.
Yeah. The Lord spoke to me, guys. So that wasn't it. So, how did we come up with Zay?
Zay?
Do you remember?
Yeah. Again, we found out we were pregnant. It was another boy. We're struggling with names to come up with.
Yeah.
Kameka, I think, was coming up with some outlandish names that I was not even considering what she thought they were great.
I was literally pen to paper, throw in letters and see how they sound, because I wanted unique names. I'm like, put in random letters together with Z in front of it, or I would get ordinary names and change the first letter to Z and then see how it sounds. Because I had like Zealand. Oh, Zealand was one, right?
Yeah.
Zealand. And what's Keegan name? Keegan, so Keegan. Zegan, like some crazy stuff I was coming up with. Some crazy name mixture I was coming up with. So tell us, I don't remember how we got this.
Well, so we were just, again, struggling, and it was kind of our daily argument or discussions that we were having. And then, again, I was driving around, pondering, and going through the names that we had. And Zephyr, that's Z-E, and then Zo, that's Z-O, Zay, Z-A, Zale, Z-H. And so I was kind of going through all the vowels. And I said, what about Zai? And so then I came home and asked Kameka, and she's like, I love it.
I love his name. And it spells Z-Y-E. Love his name.
Yeah.
Zai. And I don't know of any Zais. Like, none. I think he's the only Zai out there, probably.
Yeah.
Because we looked it up, and we didn't see any.
Right.
Yeah. And stuff. So now, Aura. I kind of remember how we came up with Aura, but not quite. Do you remember?
Well, we were kind of talking about it, and you were looking at some more names that were okay, but they just really didn't pop. Mm-hmm. I don't think it was Olivia, but it was Olive.
Oh, Olive, yeah.
We were really pushing for Olive pretty heavily.
Oh, yeah, I forgot that. Yeah, you're right.
And some others, and I really wasn't feeling any of those. And then we'd kind of, well, with Zai, this is when we came up with it. Mm-hmm. If it was a girl, because we didn't know what Zai was. Yeah. And so then we had figured it out and gone through, and then we had talked about it, and we're like, Aura. It wasn't a lady.
Yeah, I forgot what we figured it out with Zai.
Yeah, so we discussed it, and then it came out, and we're like, somehow in our discussions we said Aura came about. Yeah. Not sure exactly how. Yeah. But then we just were like, yeah, that's great. Then we went and did the ultrasound for Zai. Mm-hmm. The lady that worked there, we told her if it was a girl, we were going to name her Aura, and her name was Aura Dawn. Mm-hmm. And so she was happy. And we didn't find out if it was boy or girl till Christmas Day. We opened it as a family, which is maybe the worst thing we ever did, because Opie wanted a sister, and
she cried.
When it was a boy, she was crying all Christmas.
Hi, Char.
So it was a bad idea to do that. But so then we knew then with Zai that Aura was the girl if we got a girl. Yeah. And then even at Zai, I thought that was it.
Yeah.
Until he was 6 months, and Kameka said,
yeah,
that's not it.
Yeah. Yeah, guys. So that's how we came up with all our names for our kids. And the boys, that was a struggle when it came down to Zai, right?
Yeah.
Because we were running out of Z names, like big time. And we was not going to use Zach. Not like nothing is wrong with Zach or anything, or Zion. Oh, we were kicking around Zion too, right?
We were kicking around Zion.
Because I have an uncle Zion, and it's kind of common, one of the more common ones, but it's just a strong name. I love the name, like Zion. But we didn't end up using it. We ended up using Zai and stuff. So yeah, guys, thank you all for watching. That's how we came up with all our kids' name. Thank you for the support, and that's all. All right.
That's it.
All right, guys. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.